Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. My brothers and sisters in Islam, there is an hour of an accepted dua that is often neglected. Hardly people know about it. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, Inna fil layli la sa'atun la yuwafiquha rajulun muslimun yas'alu Allah khayra ad-dunya wal akhirah illa a'tahu Allahu iyyah wa dhalika fi kulli laylah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, there is an hour, there is a moment every single night in which if a Muslim was to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during this hour, if he was to ask him of any goodness in this worldly life or any goodness of the afterlife, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would give him and grant him that which he asked of the goodness. وَذَلِكَ فِي كُلِّ لَيْلَةٍ. And this hour is every single night. Allahu Akbar. You know, on Friday, when, of course, the majority of Muslims know that there is an hour of an accepted dua, and that is the last hour on Friday, just before the sun sets. And so a lot of people have passion to make dua at this time, put effort and focus on this time to make dua. But the very same wording of that hadith of a Friday is the exact same wording for every single night. And this is why in Nawawi rahimahullah, from among the great scholars of the Muslims, he said this hadith encourages the believers to make dua every single night. Every single night. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Make a dua, because any dua you ask Allah Azza wa Jal, any goodness you ask Him of this worldly life, health, wealth, children, to make matters easy for you, any kind of goodness of this life and the afterlife, Allah Azza wa Jal would grant it to you. Allahu Akbar. This is really encouraging for the believer, subhanallah. And the dua at night is a dua full of peace. It is a dua in where a person has calmed down, he has rested, there's no stress, there's no panic, there's no worry, there's no concern at night. The soul is tranquil, the people are sleeping, the animals are sleeping, everything outside is motionless. Go outside your house and make a dua to Allah Azza wa Jal. Make dua inside your house. Make dua, turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dua. If you are sleeping and you happen to wake up, make dua as in your bed, as you are in your bed. You don't need to be upon wudu. You don't need to be facing the qibla. These are certain manners and etiquette of dua, but they're not conditions and necessities. If you're in your bed and you happen to open your eyes and it's 2 a.m., don't rush to your phone. Make a dua at that moment and ask Allah Azza wa Jal of goodness in this worldly life and goodness in the afterlife. That Allah Azza wa Jal ease your accountability, that He admit you into the paradise without account, and that He allow you to see Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's so much goodness that we want in our life. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal, and this is happening every single night.
Tonight's dua, many of us do not know the depth of it and when to say it. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam himself, he said, it is the best dua I and every prophet ever came said. Why this dua is so special? Because this dua has the kalima of Tawheed and its evidence in it. The kalima that made us Muslims, the kalima that the whole heavens and the earth were created for. What is that dua? La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. We all know the dua. La ilaha, negation. Illallah, and He's the only one worthy of worship. Now listen to the tafsir of the rest of the dua. La ilaha illallah wahda. Wahda confirms illallah, because we said illallah, He's alone. Wahda is one. That confirms illallah. La sharika lah, He has no partner. Now the rest are the proof of la ilaha illallah. Lahul mulk wa lahul hamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Everything belongs to Him. everything, the things you see and the things you do not see. Lahul mulk wa lahul hamd, and all the gratitude. We are only living and surviving because of the rahmah of Allah. So all the gratitude to Allah. Kulli shay'in qadir. He can cure my cancer. He can make me pass on my exams. He can cover my debt. He can fix my home. He can fix my children. Ala kulli shay'in qadir. It comes very strong when you believe in it. When do we say it? Now there are numbers. Some hadith mentioned it once, some hadith mentioned it 10 times, and some hadith mentioned it 100 times. Let's start with 100. What happens if I say it 100 times a day? 5 things. Number 1, 100 hasanas recorded, 100 sins erased, equal to freeing 10 slaves. Protection from the shaitan the whole day. And the 5th one, Rasulullah ﷺ ended the hadith by saying, no one will come on the day of judgment with anything better except if someone said it more. Now what happened if I say it 10 times? The hadith is also in Muslim. He said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it is equal to freeing 4 slaves. Now listen to this. Before we sleep, you say it. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Lahul mulk wa lahul hamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Add to it. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. What happens? All the minor sins you've done today, gone, deleted. Now, listen to this. Hadith is in Bukhari. I get up in the middle of the night. I want to use the restroom. I'm hungry. I'm not feeling good. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, man ta'arra bil-layl, whomsoever moved in the middle of the night and said, La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamd, wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Now switch it. Alhamdulillah, subhanallah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu akbar, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And then he said, say, Allahumma ghfirli. All the sins are forgiven. And listen to this, subhanallah. And he said, any dua you make after that statement is answered. Ya akhwan, how many wishes do you have? How many things that you want fulfilled? Rasulullah ﷺ is telling us how to get it achieved. 1 hasanah is the difference between Jannah and Nar.